Get the layout turned on here. So those lights. And we'll get some trains running on our throttle here, which we can control 2 different trains at the same time with. This throttle is controlling that train right there, the one with the very bright lights. And this one is controlling, I believe, that engine. But we're just going to run one train for now. I've been working on this layout for about a year and a half now, and it's coming along pretty well. I still have to add stuff like grass, but most of the track work and the actual woodwork of the layout is what's taken the most amount of time. Over here is the only section that we have fully detailed. And as you can see, we got grass, a little house here, and a guy that's permanently stuck staring at this train passing by. Oh, and it looks like we lost part of our train. Anyways, don't mind the mess down here. Much of the train setup is still under construction, as you can see, but most of my engines are out and about. Some of them are in storage right now because they need repairs. I'll show you the workbench. Here we can see the workbench. We got one engine being worked on right now. Get the light on. I have it fully disassembled. I believe it needed new lights. That's what it needed. And then over here we have our lift up section. So when I want to run trains further out of the yard, I just have to hook it onto the nail right there, and I can run trains out to here. Now the trains do not run on batteries. They run on a wire that goes through the track. Well, electricity that goes through the rail. Anyways, the layout is as realistic as we can for real-life operations. As you can see, we have this industry over here, which I use for switching out car loads and stuff like that, as they do in real life. So, take an old box car out that has already been unloaded, put a new one in that has yet to be loaded, and bada bing, bada boom. And again, over here, this is staging, so this is where we get the train set up to actually run on the layout. So, such as this train here will sit in staging, which will stage the trains come out of the yard. Over here we have our industries in the background. We have a grain elevator industry, and then a small warehouse containing boxcars. And over here we have our engine shops, which contain some of our engines, as well as some being parked over here. Over here we have our bridge scene, which is yet to be completed. I still need to add plaster to these walls to create a rock formation, and I also need to paint them. Don't mind the foam. That's basically the base plate for the layout. We'll end up adding wood along the sides of the foam later on. Over here we have a representation of Carlton, Minnesota. So that bridge right there is actually the Munger Trail Bridge, which is just a little bit further down the Munger Trail in Carlton. And over here we have our ChemStar plant, which takes 4 grain cars, or chemical cars technically. And over here that would be the line going to Cloquet, and then that would be the line going over to... At this moment, the layout is still under construction and is approximately about 8 feet wide, and then about, I believe, 15 feet long. But yeah, that's the tour. I have an extra remote for anybody that wants to come over and run trains with me sometime. And underneath here, we have the actual main controller of the layout. These are just the throttles, and the main controller is what controls the layout for a wiring system that goes up to each track port here. And that's going to be a wrap for my model train setup tour. Be sure to stay tuned for any upcoming videos. Trax Productions out.